didn't even discuss an intro.
Do we need to have an intro?
I don't think we need to have an intro.
Oh, really? Why not?
We'll introduce ourselves.
As names, because we are very popular people already.
We'll do names.
Well, so my name is Simon Sanga.
My name is Michael Kibadu, and welcome to the very first episode of Techroad. So basically, what we're going to be doing in this podcast of ours, we're going to be talking about everything tech related. For everyone who doesn't know tech, everyone who knows tech, all the nerds out there, this is your place. This is for you.
This is home.
This is home for everyone.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting when you say home, because when you talk about home, I'm still look at my house and think about how many assistants should I have in my house,
Right?
Yes. Because
Right?
it's being a thing right now. You see the house, you see the television, you see the fridge, everything is AI assisted.
Yeah, there's assistants everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal for someone to go into their house and say, Alexa,
Yeah.
open the window.
Imagine that. That's a life, man. That's a life.
I don't think Alexa can open windows though.
Yeah. So there is an adaptation they are bringing in, like a small circuit that can help with the rolling. So you just say, "Hey Alexa, open this," and then it's just rolled through the curtains. It's interesting.
It's like the Home Alone thing. You remember in the Home Alone movie,
Yeah,
open
man.
sesame, and then doors were revolving all around.
Yeah, but just see, so I think back in the days we had the Iron Man, the MCU Marvel the Cinematic Unit, and then we saw Jarvis at that time.
Oh, Jarvis,
Yes, I think that was the beginning of everything.
That was the first time we saw like an assistant.
Yeah, and I think it was 20 something. Mark Zuckerberg then built something from just for the weekend for fun, and then publish about it. It was like pure like this is can help me to do ABCD, but that was way back, right? Way back.
I think so. And now we have devices that are assistants that want us to get off the devices that we use.
Interesting.
Which is very weird, right? So you have a phone, and someone who doesn't want you to use your phone gets you on another device.
Yeah, it's a misery. It's a misery. We build beautiful technology, and then we try to build another technology to take us from that beautiful technology. So interesting,
right? Yeah. So you've heard about Humane, everyone has heard about Humane.
Yeah. Humane is something. I don't know. I've watched the review about it, and it's like, okay, this is something interesting, but at the same time, how about it in context of Tanzania, especially Maisha Bongo Bongo? Like how does it work out?
So think about it. So Humane is like a pin. Yep. It's like a pin you wear on your shirt, basically on your shirt, so it can listen to your voice.
Yeah.
And then you have to wear that thing, and you ask it what you want it to do. Like you want to search for something, or you're seeing something, right? You're seeing something, and then you ask Humane, "What is this?" That's I think the simplest command.
Yes, very simple command. And something interesting about Humane is that the whole idea is that it tries to get you to get something without actually doing anything. Just say anything. So you just request, hey, can I know when is Tanzania got independence, right? Something like that, which is a simple command, simple simple stage.
Yeah.
So instead of using your phone, now using Humane, just for sake of, hey, can I get this information? So it's more like a information retrieval. I haven't seen it yet. If it can actually do another work, I know the simplest work like prepare, maybe summarize an email or something like that. But apart from this basic, I haven't seen it doing something, as you said, open my curtain or close my curtains. That's something which I'm looking for from an assistant.
Yeah, so I think one of the problems that have arisen with assistants is that most of these assistants, basically most of the AI things, they just they give you information, like large language models like ChatGPT. They give you information.
Yeah.
Like you ask it a question, they give you information. So they digest language.
Yeah, interesting.
But nothing really does work for you.
That's what you want. That's the point of what you want. Having assistant, right?
Like if you have an actual human assistant, you can tell the person, like, book me a ticket.
Yeah.
Or arrange my meetings or do something, and then they do it. Hence the point of the assistant.
Yeah, I think that's the point. And interesting. Let me take you back to the story of Siri. I'm sure this is one of the popular
Yeah.
assistants. I think everyone has Siris. Most of the iPhone users, we have a big young population who are using Siri right now. You know, the Siri was actual. The company that built the Siri was actually created 1966.
Okay.
1966. That's how many years? Almost 40, 60, 60 years
Yeah.
more. 60 years ago. And it's then it was funded by Techroad. I don't know if you know about Techroad. This is like United States. They have this agents that support to this technology. Even the driverless thing was supported by Techroad as well. But it's in scenario. So the Siri, the company that behind this series called I don't remember the exact words, but it's called SRI something Artificial Intelligence Center, something like that, right? So it was sponsored and funded by DAPRA, and then in 2010 was acquired. They formed the company, proper company, and then 2010 was acquired by Apple, right? Yeah, 2010 was acquired by Apple, and then Apple integrated through its ecosystem. Now we have Siri, but if you look at what Siri was doing at that time and what it's doing here, the changes have, of course, have been improvement, but not so much, right? Not so much. And that's something which is interesting. Like it's been 2010 to now, it's almost like how many years?
14 years.
14 years.
Ah.
But the changes, something which I was expecting, maybe right now we have something like more assisted, right? Instead of the retrieve or book my calendar or summarize this, summarize that. I was expecting something more deeper, like okay, really helpful thing. That was expected from
Yeah, and
assisted
see,
10, 14 years later.
and that's where there's this other company, Rabbit.
Yes,
Yes.
rabbit coming up.
Yeah. So Rabbit, the whole idea of
Mm.
the concept of what they want to do is to bring something that can actually fix the things we just talked about.
Oh yeah.
That maybe your assistant can't book you a trip.
Yes,
It can't
yes.
do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So there's a keynote. There is the keynote a few months ago,
Mm.
and they were displaying what it can do.
Okay.
So as it showed, of course, they showed all the best things, right?
Okay.
It's a keynote of a new product.
Of
They won't
course,
tell you what it
of
can't
course,
do.
of course. It's marketing, right?
Yeah,
What's going
they'll tell
on?
you what it can do. So one of the examples that they were doing is
Yeah.
playing songs on Spotify,
Okay.
right? So you have the Rabbit device, the Rabbit
Yeah.
R1.
Yeah.
It's like half my phone, I think.
Yeah, it is half of your phone.
Yeah,
So
it's a small thing, and it
Yeah.
has cameras. It has a 360 camera. It has a
Yes.
speaker.
Yeah, yeah.
It has this bouncing rabbit on the screen that shows it's
Continuous
loading.
bouncing.
It's bouncing rabbit on the screen. And one of the examples was like, play me a song by someone,
Yeah.
right? And then it plays the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was asked to say, to play a song from the album, a different song, but from the
Okay.
album. And it could
Okay.
do that,
Okay.
which is very different
Yeah.
from Humane.
Mm.
What Rabbit has done, so Rabbit has integrated it with apps.
Okay.
It has so far it's Spotify, Uber, and DoorDash. I
Okay.
think.
Interesting. I didn't know about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So you can book a trip,
Okay.
like you can book an Uber.
Oh.
Yeah, for you and your friends.
Now that is assistance, of
You
course.
see? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's a step from what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, yeah.
So you can book assistant. You can book a trip
Mm.
for you and your friends.
Mm.
Or one of the examples they were saying was like, I think that was the CEO of the company.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I really hope I'm not mistaken about this.
What did he say?
He said, I want to book a trip to London
Uh-huh.
for me and my family or with my friends.
And then?
Can you make me an itinerary of the places like I need to go? And then make it maybe a fun trip.
Yeah, yeah.
And it came up with a whole itinerary.
Okay, interesting.
Like a 3-day trip. On the first day, from this time to this time, you have
Yeah.
breakfast somewhere,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you go visit museums, and you come back. And
Mhm.
then he said maybe. So the guy now was saying, this might be. It looks too intense. So let's make it less intense.
Less intense.
Less intense.
Uh-huh.
So it reduced the number of the
Steps.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you see,
so like there are a lot of things you have
there
to
are a
do.
lot of things. So now it had to like reduce the number.
Mm.
And I think up to that point,
Yeah.
at least it's doing what everything else has not been doing.
Yeah.
And one of the one of the biggest features
Yeah.
that personally I think is the best. They have this feature called teach mode. So in
Tell me
teach
about
mode, basically the concept is watch, learn, and do.
Oh,
Okay, so like if you want it to do a command,
yeah.
you record and it learns all the places you press to
Okay.
do that thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then after that,
Yeah.
and then later when you tell it to maybe make me a picture on Midjourney,
Yeah.
it just does it
Oh, interesting. Very
after you
interesting.
have taught it.
Wow.
That's still in the works, so I don't think it's ready to go out yet, but they showed it in the keynote.
Wow, if it's something like that, because you see we have this RP, I don't know if you've heard about it, robotic process automation. So they do similar things, right? The only thing that we show you it with the normal computers, and it can tell, okay, maybe I need to extract data from this Excel, and you're recording it, right? You're recording the steps. I'm extracting this data from this place. I'm putting here. Once I'm putting here, maybe I'm doing summation or I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
And then you record it, right? And then it learns from that. And then what you do later on is just play the script. It's like you build the script and then you just play the script. So it does the same thing. So probably they have a big chance of doing and succeeding in that area as well.
How much do you? But then it comes the actual question: do you need another device?
Oh, now that's an interesting question. Do you need another device? Let me ask you a question. This is something I've been thinking about very, very much.
Yeah.
So you see, this is where I'm thinking about the whole thing, right? When you come to devices and everything else, we should think not about devices. We should think about computation, right? So devices can be in different form factors, but the computation is what really matters. Let me tell you why. You see, the phone, for example, previously had a phone where you have to dial the normal phones, right? The feature phones,
buttons,
the button, and everything else. The computation was so small, and that was limited to that, right? But also, of course, you could play games and everything else. Then they build more phones. Now you can do more like WhatsApp, watch videos, do pictures, and everything else. So they add computation, and everything else. So the computation is what really matters. You see, like for example, they launch what is iPad. They just added more computation. The phone will be similar format, right? But there's more computation. So what I'm thinking is there's a big chance we might see another form of phones, but with more computation.
So you think what we might actually be going to is just a different form factor of of a smartphone.
Yes, like not necessarily that way, because I believe like the phone is really highest, like this is really best thing they've done so far. And I think it's set a bar so high for anything else to come to replace it. It should be very, very unique in every aspect. Your phone right now, I'm sure more than 50% of the total population have phones right now. And there is something about it. If 50% have phones and they accept it the way it is, there's something about design and everything that makes it like this is the highest bar any human being can achieve in terms of computation form factor, right? But what I believe is there will be chances for other things to exist, but to replace,
that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, so we're talking about computation. What we are really thinking about, as I mentioned, that yes, computation is something we should be thinking more and form factor less. Because yes, right now phones will be with us for the next 2-3 decades. I'm very sure of that. Yes, I can put a bit on that. The phones, we're going to have them for quite some time. The only thing that's going to happen is that we are going to have the spread of computation. Now, when I'm saying spread, is like now we're talking about Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa. We saw the Ray-Bans from Meta, yeah. So those things like really are coming big, right?
Yeah.
And those are maybe the new form factors we should be using in terms of phones. Because really, let's think about it. What is phone? What is phone? It's just functionalities, right?
Actually, if you go into the details,
yeah.
So a phone and a smartphone,
yes,
kind of, because inside your smartphone, there's an app called phone.
True. That's so yeah. That's very interesting point actually. There's a phone and the app we call phone. Yes. So phone is it? Can you say phone is all about contact?
So I think the whole idea. So coming from like the root of the word, like telephone,
Yes.
like this thing where you can talk into it and it can reach someone else.
Yeah.
So telephone.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the phone is. The phone
Yeah.
app. That's what it does.
Yes, I think phone come with the phonetics, which is all about sound and everything else, eh?
I have never gone that deep.
Yeah, because there's this phonetics, I think something like that.
Okay.
Now, when you said the phone apps, this is what I'm thinking right now. Maybe they thought, okay, now we have camera, we have notebook, we have YouTube, we have all these different apps.
Yeah.
But where should we put our contacts, right? You put them contacts. Do we have app called contacts?
No, it's usually in
So I'm
the
using
phone.
Android. I'm using Android phone.
Yeah.
This is Pixel, right? Within here we have phone, right?
Yeah.
Really, I'm not sure. I think I should
You have a
check that
phone app.
one.
You can check it.
Really?
You have a phone app.
Is it phone or what?
It's called phone. It usually has the telephone icon.
Yes.
It's called phone.
Yeah, it's called phone. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So when I click here, I see contact, recent, and favorite. Yes, I think phone is all about contact, the people you can talk to. It just encompasses those in a phone. Now we were talking about the spread of the computation, right? And you point out about phone. So what I'm thinking about phone for me myself, I think it's how we can organize the different functionality which were previously physical, like calendar is physical. Now it's organized within the phone, the phone.
Yeah.
The phone, right? not
The
the
smartphone.
smartphone. Yes, the smartphone, right? So the organization is here easily. I think we can even have we have smartwatches right now.
Yeah.
They can also help us with the organization. So maybe we saw the what's this Vision Pro.
Vision Pro. Yeah.
So those are different phone format forms in which the computer can be embedded, and then eventually people might be using them. The only thing which I'm really thinking is that the phone has one advantage is that it can act external. It can be independent, right? On its own, right?
Yeah.
Glasses you have to put them on your eyes like 24/7. The Vision Pro similar. At least the phone, the watch, you can do your wrist.
That's just the thing.
But this one you can detach, really detach from it. I think that's a really one factor which what makes this like one of the best invention and something which I think is going to be here for a while.
It's true. We were talking about if we actually so there are two ways. This device, these devices like assistants, the AI pin, the Humane pin, and the Rabbit R1. So think of it like this: as a normal Tanzanian, as a normal Tanzanian person,
Tanzania
wa kawaida kabisa, moving around.
Yeah, my friend. How can you
moving around?
Yeah.
Say you live in Dar.
Yeah.
Moving around Kariakoo.
Interesting.
With a pin on your shirt.
Oh, my friend, that's his.
Talk about the loss.
Yeah. Think about it. Right now we have people who they can rob you while you are standing. Right now I'm thinking.
And you have no idea.
Yeah.
And that is in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's something in your pocket.
Imagine that. There's something which is hanging very clear. Maybe people won't know, or maybe. I don't know if the Humane team will think about how can they make it not working, because I know people might steal it just for sake of spare parts.
It's true.
Right?
And sometimes because it just looks nice.
Yes. Some people might steal it just for the sake of for the sake of the spare parts, or some people might steal it for the sake of actually using it. So the Humane team can actually make it unusable after that. But the spare parts might be another business they haven't even think about, which is maybe a big deal venture.
Yeah. So on that we've looked at it in the safety issue.
Yeah, safety.
So
in context, in context of Tanzania.
In context of Tanzania.
Yeah.
Now there's a root question here. In context of Tanzania.
In context yet.
Do you need it?
Oh, interesting question, my friend. Interesting question.
A follow-up question to that. Can you afford it?
Interesting questions, my friend. Affording, I think there is a 2%, 1%, if not less than 0.1% people can afford it.
Let's
That's one thing which I'm very sure about. But
Very small percentage.
yeah, very small people, very small number of people. But in terms of do you need it? I think we need it. Let me tell you why. If there is anything that can help you to do something, you need it. Simple as that. The question is, what
I've
do you
thoughts.
mean do?
I've thoughts.
Tell me.
So anything that can help you, you need it.
Yes. Do you need ChatGPT as a student? Let's say if you're a student.
As a student,
Yeah.
As a student, you need it.
Really?
You really need it.
Why?
Well, for one thing, it writes for you.
Thank you. What Humane does.
So basically the Humane Pin just answers your question.
That's the point. Instead of me start to open my phone and everything else, I can use Humane.
Aha. So you use the pin. Okay, why do you not need to use your phone?
Yes, especially let's imagine Oko Kariako, right? City center. Now you're opening your phone with all this like it's a lot of work, right? The only thing with the Humane that is it's hard to walk around is it's the thing with the projection. I heard that it's faint in the light. It's not very clear, right?
Sure.
But if it can be something that only talking, you talk, ask a question and reply, I think that's what you need. Because let me tell you why I'm saying this. When I'm driving, there is a time when I really need to brainstorm about something, about new ideas. You know what I do? I open my ChatGPT and put in the voice mode, right? Yeah. So we talk, right? And then that's one of the best thing I usually do when I'm driving. Like, okay, let me think this direction. What are possible legal issues can be arising in this scenario? What are possible opportunity in this scenario? What are the possible competition we can think about, right? So all the things, as much as I'm driving, I'm focusing on driving, my phone answer me that. It's good to have a phone that can help us on that aspect. Now imagine of a Humane Pin, right? It helps you the same thing, right? The only thing is maybe do a little bit slower. I heard that there's something with the lag.
Isn't that though one of the main things that we should be looking at? Time.
Yes.
So okay, listen.
Things tend to improve over time.
So if the pin can look at something,
yes,
and wait for a while,
yes,
before I tell you what that thing is, why not use Google Lens on your phone?
Beautiful question, and it's very hard to answer. But look, let's think in a bigger picture, like ecosystem wise, right? I think back in the days, I think 2020, right? Immediately after Corona, right? Things were started chilling out. If you go out and you don't have an iPhone phone, there's a way people look at you, right? It's true, right? Maybe there's something in the future. If you're using your phone and you don't have your mail, it can be something socially helping you. So
they really know.
This is political answer. This is not straight answer.
That is not even that all factors remain constant. That is all factors work.
Yeah. But see, what I believe is for country like ours, yes, we might not really need the humane, or individual might not need humane immediately. Even in America or wherever it is, it's not something really you might need. And even they see, I think they say something take out from your phone, right? So if it's something as an alternative to something, it means there is already an existing solution for that, right? Is this just an alternative, right? So directly you might not need it, but alternatively you might need it, right? So think of it as alternative. So you can have your phone and your pin, and you can leave your phone at home and then go away ukatembea tembea huko with your pin, which is fine. Right now you don't need to labda umeenda huko. I hope it has good reception in your network. That's what I'm assuming and hoping. But it can be that good in that sense kwamba it help you in that direction kwamba uko mtaani huko it helped you, but in a normal sense it's alternative.
Think of it like this: as a normal Tanzanian person, as a normal Tanzanian consumer, the first thing we look at is price.
Yeah.
The first thing we look at is price.
Pricey.
So the Rabbit Hour one, it started at $199.
199.
which is in Tanzania it's like almost 400.
Yes,
right?
now, yes, it should be there. It should be there. Yes.
It's almost
yes.
it's more
No,
than
it's more than
400,000.
that. It's more than that, actually.
More than 400,000.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To buy a small thing
Yes.
that does what your 2 million phone does.
Yeah, but look, you'll be trendy.
To who?
To the ecosystem, the few of
So
us
you will trend.
who
You
know
will
what
trend.
this is.
Yes, you will trend in the small number of people
Yes.
who know what the thing is.
Yes, that's the point.
That is one. That is one. And that is the cheapest one.
Yes.
And
Okay.
the Humane AI Pin
Mm-hmm.
is $699.
It's 6. I had it 7.
It's 699.
Wow.
It's 700.
Wow. Wow.
How much is?
That's a lot of money, my friend.
You see, and
Wait.
on top of that,
Really?
yes, on top of that, it only works with a subscription,
No
a
way.
$24 subscription per month.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So after buying it, you have to keep the subscription.
This price
Per month.
really 699.
Yes, $699.
Oh, I can be serious, my friend.
$699. In
Wow.
fact,
As Tanzanian, I
on
don't
their
need,
website,
as Tanzania, I don't need that one. I'm very sure I don't need that one.
you're sure. So at that point, you don't care about the capabilities.
Yeah.
You don't care about what it can help you with.
My question was like this. You see, there is a iPad, and then there is a smartwatch, and then there is a Mac and everything else, right? So even this other alternative, like you see, your phone is like I can say iPad not necessarily alternative to your phone, right? It's not a necessary alternative. It's maybe more like an additional, because there is functionality you can do in your phone, you can do in an iPad, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe the main pin, apart from the core things of retrieving information and creating itinerary and all those things, what else additional they have? If we find that's additional, because it's only in terms of additional that we might find it useful, and not in terms of reduction, because what they focus there is more in reduction. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like right now, Humane or Rabbit, they are more like to be alternative, and the usefulness might not be that much because they are more reduction of already what we already have. Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
I think usually we see this in first generation things. Like the first generation of something,
Yeah,
it's not usually very good.
and it's always pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Maybe it's because they're
Makes
just coming
sense.
into the market.
Coming into the market, also the thing is when you're starting out, you have a lot of costs of things which are not optimized yet, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So now I think so as a person who might own
Humane or Rabbit.
or Rabbit.
Mm.
So you have a phone.
Yeah.
This is, let's take this as a very tech savvy person. This is a person who is up to date with the latest tech, right?
Yeah.
You have the latest iPhone or the latest Android. Maybe I think the latest one, the Pixel 8a just came out.
Yes.
Okay, let's say you have maybe the Pixel 8 or something like that, or the Samsung S24, and you have a Mac, and you have a pin. What I'm thinking is, why do you need all these devices?
Yes, that's a good point, and I think that's what we were talking about. That if you have a phone, it's alternative to all of them. Like literally, you can do almost all the things you do in a Humane smartwatch from your phone, right?
Yeah.
But unlike phone, an iPad, for example, there are certain things you can do better with an iPad. It's like the one we saw it released like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a week or something. There is some things, a lot of these things can be done in a phone already. So having a phone is really completely. Now it's come to the Humane, right? There's nothing unique or superior, right? And I think superior or additional is important, because you see we have cameras, like really physical cameras, and then we have phone camera. The thing is, the physical camera or the real camera is really superior in some aspects compared to the phone camera.
Yeah.
Mm. And that can be a reason why they are not so going to be very successful.
So for this this new assistants that we've seen, they have, the point is to get you off your phone, right? To get you off your phone,
yeah,
is to not. So one of their points is that if you need to look at a message in your phone,
yeah,
you look at the message, and then you see a very colorful Instagram app.
yeah.
You click it, you go inside and you start scrolling, and now you're hooked. You want to check a text for 5 seconds, now you use 30 minutes scrolling through reels.
That's a real problem, to be honest. Because when you start speaking like that, I understand. I hate WhatsApp a lot because of status. Status is one of the things that is really time consuming as well. And for some reason, some people post billions. And as much as I don't want to watch them, I cannot resist it. Right?
Yeah.
It's happened. Right?
There's people you know.
Yeah. And there's that time. You know, the thing is with the status or Instagram is that it's designed to be unconscious choice. Right? The way it's designed for you to start open, let's say, stories, status from WhatsApp, it's designed in a way that it's simpler, like you don't even have to think. So before you know it, it's 5 minutes gone.
You're hooked.
I wanted just to say hi to my friend. That's all I wanted. Not all this, and it's so crazy. So maybe there's that chance that maybe if you made Rabbit, they do a good job in terms of trying to really show their potential of not allowing distractions. There's a chance for that. Few of us, among them, maybe be the one of the.
You'll be one of the people who buys the $700 Humane Pin.
Yeah, actually, this is very interesting because I'm start thinking in that direction, and there's a room for that actually, because there are people like me easily distracted with these minor things, and we don't like it. It easily make a point that hey, there is this alternative where there is no status or there is no Instagram post, and you see every other sponsored ad. Maybe it can be a reason.
So one of the things in the Rabbit keynote, what they were saying is that what a laptop and an Android and an iPhone and the Nothing phone, what all of those have
in common,
is a user interface. So it doesn't matter if it's Android or OS or iOS, but they have a user interface. So they want to solve the problem where that user interface, you just do the thing you want to do and go, and like save your time. Doesn't spend your entire day binging on reels on TikTok or Instagram. That's the problem they want to solve. So I think the idea is valid.
All ideas are valid. The market will prove them more right or wrong.
The idea is valid.
Yeah.
The idea is valid. But how do you move from telling people to get out of their smartphone to a brand new device and make that their everyday device?
First of all, let me be honest. Humane rabbits are boring. They're really boring. They're interesting at all. Those are for people who are boring as well.
So you think they're boring people?
Yes, people who are efficient, right? Because otherwise you want to be distracted, you want to be all entertained, everything else. This is what's happening with Instagram or other social medias, right? But if you are a reasonable person, you might want that level of. Sometimes you might want some distraction, see what's happening with your friends, Instagram, but sometimes we really want to accomplish one thing, and that's one thing all, right? So as much as we are trying to do all these things, some of the devices that we're using, they are not supporting us to do that, exactly that. And that's what's happening with the phone. So I think the rabbit teams, they really thought about boring people. Right? Really, these few people, they just want ABC bus.
Just do the thing
and move. Right? How many are they? Very few.
Yeah.
we're human creature. We are curiosity. Curiosity, that's what bring our life to be like, hey, I just want to go to Instagram, see what's happened to that, what's happened in Tanzania, what's happened in Kenya, all these things, all these things. That is part of being not not so boring, right?
Yeah.
Being reasonable, let's say.
So just thought of a scenario again in a normal Tanzanian situation, right?
Difficult.
Yeah. Oh, so you're at home on the weekends
Yeah.
and maybe you're watching a movie or watching you're on Netflix or listening to some music and then umeme unakatika.
Yeah, women are katika.
You don't have a phone.
You have rabbit.
You have you have rabbit or you have an AI pin with a screen that comes on your hand, that's projected on your hand.
Yeah, this device is for boring people, my friend.
This is
I'm
this
telling
is how
you.
it look like. This is how it look like. This is how it look like. You're sitting
Yeah.
and
What's up? With
yeah,
the worst thing is they don't even have colors, right?
it doesn't have color.
Yeah, it's bad like
You
that.
you can actually
You know, there is maybe there is generation for that. You see there is this cycle wanasema kwamba kuna hard people hard people create weak people or something like that. Like there is cycle, right? So right now we're living in generation ambayo kweli we are all about excitement, right? It's all about excitement. What's the next big thing? There's no that really hardship za kufanya kwamba yeah, I mean I need to concentrate on something like that, right? And it's lovely like we are living that generation. But maybe there'll be coming a time because I would and yeah, let's talk and then let me think while I'm talking on this, eh? You see, the time ya kina Einstein, kina Leonardo da Vinci, those people are really having time to really concentrate, umeona, which means they are really literally boring, right? Boring in a sense, right?
they kind of minded their own business.
Yes, yes. So what Pin and Humane do is allow you to not focus on other things. It's focused on the small tasks that you want to be done, and that's only you have to be done, right? Which is okay, right? But generation yetu tuko kwenye excitement. I want to see Zanzibar. I want to see what's happening in Dubai. Ukiangalia what is Snapchat inakuonyesha kabisa kwamba there is a hot area in Dar es Salaam and wewe unakaa club, let's say unakaa Tandale, right? Unaona hot area pale Masaki sijui wapi. You know, this is happening and then when you click there see all these stories. You see, so there's that kwamba inakupa kwamba oh this life is excitement. Now there's no that much. All of a sudden
It's gone.
my friend, life is boring for some
Life
reason.
becomes very boring. Becomes very boring. Well, I guess we can look at like the all around advantage. For
Yeah,
one
the
thing,
lawsuits.
for no, not the not the losses yet for AI.
Uh-huh.
What we can look at it is that well, people are thinking, they have ideas, they want to get people off phones. So
Yeah.
that's we are heading in a direction. I think in terms of products, maybe because we're in first generation products,
Yeah.
it's going to get better. Like we're going to iterate it and it's
Very
going to get
true.
better.
Very true. Yeah. One thing which I'm thinking about is that AI is also a big factor in this context because what's happening with AI is that at least they get to know, like kind of recommend or understand the user and personalize the service to you. So yes, even Rabbit or Humane, the thing is to some degree it can it really depends on the this large language model names, partly because it just want to summarize something for you. It's in the past if you ask if you search where is Monte Kilimanjaro, they give you a web link, right? Now they have like purely it's in Tanzania, it's this site, and this is like summary. So AI is a big factor that will lead to the more positive. So I think I heard that the Humane they have now new chip for local device LLM, which means gonna really slow down the time. The lag thing. Yeah.
That's good. If it works on device and doesn't like your command doesn't go to some server and have to come back, that works better.
Yeah. So let's look for that. But apart from that, what I'm really thinking about is in terms of some group of people, especially younger generation, they get fed up with all these social things, and they decide, okay, you know what, I still want to be connected with the internet, but I don't want to be connected with my phone, right? And they become boring kind of thing, but there's those kind of students, or some of the young people be like, yeah, I don't want Instagram, I just want internet, and there'll be AI pin that makes sense for them, right? Because it's
Yeah, at
purely
some
like
point.
yeah. So that generation, I haven't seen it, there is enough for that market, but that's something which we can look forward in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should also look at pricing. If they make a very smart device,
Yeah.
should also be smart device for Africa.
Why we not people?
Uh,
What? Man, I think that I don't think that should be like that.
well, in terms of, well, to make something cheap, I think that there are some features they are going to have to remove,
Oh,
right? Or
okay.
maybe some
What if
some
what if
parts of the device.
what if African get richer every month?
Well, if we get that rich, and it's not just maybe our 1% that can afford it, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
what
But
you're saying is
I think,
true.
yeah, they could look at,
The different market.
yeah, the market that's, well, not as rich, where if $700 and a $24 month subscription is
Yeah.
expensive in the US,
Yeah.
what do you think
Yes,
it's going to be for a normal Tanzanian
very
person?
true. I think what you're saying it's in terms of business model, not devices, right? Because I saw this even with the YouTube, for example. The price you're paying for YouTube Premium while in Tanzania is very less compared to what you pay in Europe, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they will think in terms of business model, but in terms of device, it's interesting because yes, I know we have this cheap Chinese products here in Tanzania, significant. They support our market significantly, and we're really grateful for them.
Yeah.
Because yes, I know if otherwise my mother I couldn't be calling her because she doesn't have an iPhone. She does use the normal techno phone, right? So there's that advantage of having cheap, maybe less features, less computation, but still useful, right? Because what you see with the these small phones, and most of them are entry smartphones, they are just basic, but at least you have a way you can communicate WhatsApp, and I think that's what people want. Yeah. So yeah, maybe even as you're on your point, maybe they can really think about the Africa market, which I don't think they will do because it's small market for them yet,
We'll see.
unless the Chinese,
We'll see.
and
New
then do
generation.
something about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for today.
That's it for today, my friend.
I think that's it for today, and so we'll be here again next week. We'll be talking about more tech, everything you need to know. So please subscribe, comment. What else am I supposed to do? Like,
We'll be
and
everywhere from Instagram, Twitter,
we'll be everywhere.
everywhere.
We'll
So
be
we'll be there for you. And another thing is you can listen to this anytime because we are going to have an audio version of it.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah.
you can decide to listen it anytime. Instead of
Yeah.
only watching on YouTube, you can also decide to listen to it, which is what we really want you to do. We get informed and entertained. Is it, my brother?
Yeah. So that's it for today, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Have a blast, my friends.